Hello friends, today I would like to talk about PowerShell. In this tutorial, I would like to show some basic PowerShell commands, how to write and run the scripts in PowerShell, and we'll also talk about some PowerShell classes. So before starting the tutorial, the first and foremost question will be, what is a PowerShell? In brief, PowerShell is an object-oriented programming language and an interactive command line shell for Microsoft Windows. Windows PowerShell is developed by Microsoft for purpose of task automation and configuration management. This PowerShell is based on the .NET framework and it includes a command line shell and scripting language. It was mainly designed to automate system tasks such as batch processing and create system management tools for commonly implemented processes. The PowerShell language is similar to Perl. It includes more than 130 standard command line tools for functions that formerly required users to create scripts in VB, VBScript, or C#. Now, in brief, we will discuss about what are commands, what is a script, and what are classes. PowerShell commands can be used to manage the user domains. These commands are used to navigate through the Windows registry. We can search recursively for a certain string within files. They are also used for both software and machine management. When you come to software management, it can be used to install an MSI package on a remote computer, upgrade an installed application with an MSI based application, upgrade package, etc. When you come to machine management, we can remotely shut down another machine after some time interval. We can run scripts on the remote computer, etc. So now coming to scripts. PowerShell scripts are combination of multiple commands which are combined to perform certain tasks. These scripts are saved with an extension .ps1. The scripts will enable the interactivity between products. Any function you perform through the GUI actually generates PowerShell code that completes the requested task. And one more thing is it makes the life easier. Suppose for a moment that we need to update an Active Directory attribute for thousands of users. Performing the task manually would likely take hours to complete. Using PowerShell scripts, though, you can complete the task using a single line of code by running the script. When you come to classes, to create any class, the first thing we need to do is to use the keyword class. This is what creates the class. The syntax is exactly the same as creating a function. It has keyword followed by the name, which is a class name, and it has an opening brace and a closing brace. As we can see in the example, we have a class named employee followed by opening and closing braces. The parameters that are related to employee will come in between the braces. Now we'll talk about some basic PowerShell commands. So when we come to PowerShell commands, there are thousands of inbuilt commands in PowerShell. I have provided a link in the bottom which talks more about PowerShell command. Some of them can be get content, which gets the content of a file, set location, which is used to set the current working location or to a specified location. Clear content will delete the content of an item, but it does not delete the item. The copy item copies an item from one location to another specified location. The remove item will delete all the files and folders specified to it. The compare object will compare two objects. The get history will get the list of all commands entered during the current session. The make directory command is used to create a new item like a folder or a file, and the move item is used to move an item from one location to another specified location. And get process. This command is used to get all the processes that are running on the local computer or even a remote computer. So now we'll see how these commands will work in PowerShell. To open PowerShell, hit the Windows button and search for PowerShell. It opens a blue screen which acts as a command prompt for PowerShell. Now it is the default path. If you want to change the path, you can just do it by giving the command change directory. Let's say desktop. Now you can see the default path has changed to the desktop. Now if I want to list all the files and folders present in the desktop, I can do it by giving the command ls, which lists all the files and folders present in the directory. Now we will see how PowerShell commands will work. Let us consider a scenario where we want to move a file or folder from one location to another location. Let us consider our source location as first sem and the destination location as a second sem, which are folders. Before doing that, we'll see what all files and folders are present in each directory. As we can see, the ls command is used to retrieve all the files and present in the directory, and the cd is used to change the directory. Now let us consider we want to move the folder co from the folder second sem to the first sem. This can be achieved using the command move item that can be given as if the destination folder does not exist, it will create a folder and copies the file from the source to the destination location. Now if you try to run this command, it runs perfectly. Now you can see whether the file has moved from one location to another location or not. Now you can see the folder co has moved from the folder second sem to the first sem. Similarly, if you want to know what all processes are running in the system, how much non-pageable and pageable memory are they taking, the amount of processor time it is taking, we can find out by the command get process. This will list all the processes that are currently in the system. This can be again sorted with the help of the following command. In this, PM represents the physical memory and DAC represents the descending order. This is just a single line with three different commandlets separated by pipes. The first commandlet retrieves all running processes and then passes or pipes those objects to sort objects. This second command sorts on each process object's physical memory property, placing them into descending order. The sorted collection of processes objects is the pipe to select object, which picks the first 10 and displays them. As you can see, it lists the first 10 processes, which has for further assistance with further moving through commands. If you want to know what all services are currently active in the system, we can find out by the following command get service. That can be written as get service, which is piped to the where object, and whose status is running. Status equals to . running. If you try to run this command, it will give all the services that are currently running in the system. Status is only one property of service objects. To see all the properties, we can do it by get service, which is piped to get member. That can be given as this will give all the definition, the member type, the name, etc. For further assistance with the commands, we can use get help command to know the syntax of the command. It gives aliases and more information about it. Let's say we want to know some information about the move item command. We can do it by giving get help move item. This will give the name of the command, the syntax, how to use it, and even the different names for it known as aliases, and even the remarks which tries to explain about what this command does. So this get help command is used to find out the syntax of any command which we want to know. Now we'll talk about PowerShell scripts. PowerShell scripts are saved with an extension .ps1. Let us consider a basic script. This script asks the user to enter two values, reads them using the command read host, and assigns those values to the specified variables val1 and val2. Then it adds val1 and val2, and the values present in the two variables are stored in another variable called result and displays it to the host. As we can see, we can try to run this script. It is asking for the user to enter value 1, which we can give it as 5, and it asks the user to enter the value 2, which can be like 4. Then it adds both the values and the result will be provided to the user. This is just a basic script in PowerShell. Further moving through the scripts, we'll go to the next script where we can use how to use an if-else statement in the script. This script asks the user to enter three values, reads it using the command read host, and the three values are assigned to the three variables a, b, and c. Then it checks for the statement in if condition where a is greater than b. If the condition is satisfied, then it again checks whether a is greater than c or not. Depending on the result of the second condition, it shows either a or c as greatest value. If the first condition is not satisfied, then it checks whether b is greater than c. Depending on the result of the condition, it writes the host either b or c as greatest value. We can see the working of this script as it is asking the user to enter value 1, let us say 6. It asks the user to enter value 2, let us say 2, and it asks the user to enter the value 3, let us give 9. Then all the values on variables are gone through each if-else statement, and the greatest value will be decided. In the three values 6, 2, and 9, 9 is the greatest value, and hence it writes to the host 9 is bigger number than 2 and 6. If we consider the next script, this script reads the user entered values separated by comma and trims all the white spaces if they are present in the input values and stores them in an array $items, which is a type of integer. Then all the values present in the array are sent as an input to the function named average by calling the function as average of items. Inside this average function, a variable named running total is assigned to a value of 0. Then a for each loop was used, which uses a variable I to iterate through the values in array items and adds up all the values in the array to the variable running total. Then a function array.length is used to find out the length of an array and was used to divide running total to find out the average of all values using formula running total by array length and stores in a variable result and writes it to the host. You can see running of the script as follows. It asks the user to enter the values separated by comma. Let's see 1, 2 and 3. Then the average of the three values are found out and the average is written to the host. Now we'll talk about some PowerShell classes. As we said, to create any class, the first thing we need to do is to use the class keyword. Let us consider the basic class with some properties. In this script, American football is a class name which contains some of the basic properties like team, manager, sponsor, total players, and tournaments played. As any team contains only 11 players, the variable total players is defined as static and it does not change. Then an instance of class Chicago Bulls is created using the keyword new object, and it can be used to call any property of a class. The running of this class can be seen as follows. Now we need to create an instance of this class. An instance of the American football class was created, which is Chicago Bulls, and this instance is used to call the property of a class. Let us call the static property, which is the total players, and returns the value of those class. Now we will see how to hide the properties of a class. To know about this, we'll consider the following script. In the above script, the class has two variables in which one of the variable was hidden using a keyword hidden. When we try to create an instance of a class, and when the class was called, only the variables that are assigned without hidden keyword will be returned, and the variables assigned with hidden keyword will not be displayed. This is because all the properties of that variable are hidden using that keyword. The hidden keyword can hide the properties, methods like constructors, events, even the alias properties, and other member types, including static members from the default results of the getMember commandlet. You can see running of this script as follows. Now when we try to create an instance of the hide class, and when you try to call the instance, only one variable which is not defined as hidden was displayed, but the other variable course ID which is defined as hidden is not displayed. Now let us consider the last script in which we'll come to know how to use methods in PowerShell classes. The script consists of emp class, which has basic properties on employee like employee name, employee ID, employee designation, employee salary, etc. It contains a method named sal of type void. The type void does not return any value, but the control was written back to the caller. The sal method takes two variables a and b, known as total hours worked and pay for each hour respectively, as input and multiplies them to find the salary. Then an instance even was created to the emp class, and the properties of that class are assigned with user entered values. Using this object, the sal method was called by passing arguments a and b. We can run this script and we can see how this works. Now we are giving the user defined properties like even creating an instance of the employee class and providing the properties as a name, ID, and his designation. Now when you try to create this instance, when you try to call a method in this class followed by the parameters, the method will run perfectly, and when you try to call the class, all the properties like employee name, employee ID, and his designation, and even the salary, which was like 8 into 2, which was given into the input of this method, it was multiplied and the output was provided to the salary variable, and you can see the salary here. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, friends. Bye. PowerShell commands worked, how to get information about each command using get help command, and even how a script can be written in the PowerShell language. We also came to know about how the classes are worked, how to use a function, how to use arrays, and even how to use methods in the classes. Thanks for watching. Bye.